Happy Halloween. I hope y'all got y'all candy in. Hope y'all got your, you know what I'm saying, your trick-or-treating out the way. Hope y'all still watching scary movies or whatever you do, you know. I'm about to react to this, it's this guy on TikTok. For some reason they're saying True Crime Talk '03, but I don't think that's what the name of his channel was when I just was on TikTok, so. If that's the name of your channel, my bad, you know what I'm saying? I think the name of his channel when I seen it was True Stories or something like that. But either way, I got two of his scary stories, so let's run it. Hold up. I got the volume down. Okay, my bad. My bad, y'all.
That happened to a woman. This is 100% true story that happened to a woman in Madison, Wisconsin. Now, there was this woman named Sherry who moved into this house with her 2 children in
Hold on, let me turn this up.
Madison, Wisconsin. This is 100% true story that happened to a woman in Madison, Wisconsin. Now, there was this woman named Sherry who moved into this house with her 2 children in Madison, Wisconsin. Now, She said, at the time she didn't believe in anything supernatural. She really thought that was a bunch of nonsense. But she said, right away when they moved in, she would notice, out of the corner of her eye, sometimes shadows moving across the walls. She would hear strange noises that she couldn't explain. But she said for the most part, it was just a normal house. One night, she's upstairs in her bedroom, and she's folding laundry. She hears talking coming from her son's room. So she makes her way over to his room. The door's closed, and she hears her son having a full-on conversation with someone. And she's like, who is he talking to, at 12:30 at night? So she opens the door, and when she looks in his room, he is not in his bed. So she starts yelling for him.
What?
She looks down and sees him next to the side of his bed, on his knees, crouched down, with his head under the bed, talking to someone. And she's like, hey, who are you talking to? Like, who's under there? And her son's like, I can't tell you. And she said, what do you mean you can't tell me? Like, who's under the bed? And he's like, I can't say. He'll get mad. And she's like, what? Who's under there? So she runs over to the bed, and she looks underneath there. It's empty. There's nothing under there. So she's like, you know what? Just get back in bed. Like, just stop, doing whatever you're doing. Several weeks pass, and on a regular basis, she keeps finding her son talking to someone under the bed, except there's no one there. So after a few weeks of this happening, she thinks maybe something is wrong with her son. So she takes him to this child therapist. The therapist assesses him and says, he seems completely fine. It's probably just his imagination. So several months pass, and he keeps on doing this. Well, one day she's sitting down in the living room with him, and they're talking, when she notices he has some scratches and bruises all over his body. And she's like, where did you get those scratches and bruises from? What's going on? And he's like, I can't say. I can't tell you. And she's like, yes, you have to tell me, what is going on with you? And finally he breaks down and he starts crying and stuff, and he just starts freaking out. And then he runs up to his room. So the mom, at this time is like, I don't know what to do. What is going on with my son? She's just panicking. Later that night, she's awoken to her son screaming in his bedroom. She runs as fast as she can. She goes in his room. She finds him halfway underneath the bed. He's grabbing onto the bed frame, and it looks like something is pulling him under the bed. So she immediately grabs him, pulls him out from under the bed. She looks under there. There's no one there. So she's like, you know what? This is weird. Like, you're sleeping with me tonight. You're gonna be in bed with me tonight. So they go back to her bedroom. He lays down. He falls asleep. She's sitting in bed. She can't sleep. She's like freaked out about this whole situation. When all of a sudden she hears, "Shh, hey, come under the bed." She's like, "What?"
What?
She looks over. Her son is sleeping. But then once again she hears, "Hey, come here under the bed. I need to talk to you." And it's like a man's voice.
Oh no.
And she's like, no, who are you? Like, go away. And the man's like, come on, get under the bed. I need to tell you something. And like, she's like, no, I'm not going under the bed. And she said this man, whoever he was, just started yelling obscenities and getting really angry. So she grabs her son. They get out of the house. And she said she left that night and never went back. And still to this day, that house sits there. And she said she's talked to the neighbors, and they said since she's moved, like several families have lived there, and they move out immediately.
That's crazy because I don't know if y'all like me, man. Like when I was a kid, I definitely used to see him though. I used to see ghosts, bro. Like no cap. I feel like whatever those spirits are, like they kind of, I think they prey on children. I don't know if it's because children are innocent or if it's something with them, you know, not being that far away from the afterlife because, you know, we return to the afterlife, I guess you could say. So I don't know if that's what it is. But for some reason, it seems like they try to attach to kids. But man, listen, I used to see him all the time. My mama ain't never believed me. Well, recently she said she did believe me, but a lot of these stories probably got something to do with kids. Like you'll see like ghost stories like this. It's just like that. So he got another story on here though. Let's see what he's talking about.
A lot of people wonder why they say in the Appalachians not to go into the woods at night, not to whistle, not to sing, and always make sure you close your windows and you lock.
The Appalachians. Where is that? Where's the Appalachians at? Is that Pennsylvania? I'm in Ohio, so maybe it is. Let me see.
Lock your doors and absolutely never respond to anything that calls your name. So this goes back to an old Native American belief in the area that these mountains were home to spirits and that they would come out and wander during the night. And I've heard two stories
I can believe it.
that give you an idea as to why you should not do these things at night. So there was a man named Jeff. He lived outside of Knoxville, Tennessee. And
Tennessee. Okay.
he was told about this spot up in the mountains where there was some good mushrooms. But no one would go to this area because they were very superstitious. So Jeff thinks, I'm going to go to this area and get a good haul. And, you know, what do I care? There's no such thing as ghost. So he goes out, he parks his car.
Yeah. Okay.
Goes into the woods. And he's hunting for several hours. Starts to notice the sun is going down. It's getting dark. It's time to head back to it.
Bro, look at this thing right here, though. Like, if you see this thing in the woods, woo, hey, if I see this joint right here in the woods, dog, and I'm fat, but do you know how crazy fast I be? Like Sonic the Hedgehog, Tariq Hill, none of them ain't got nothing on me if I see this thing behind me or in front of me. My bad. Let me keep going.
Now, as he's walking through the woods, he all of a sudden hears, Jeff, come here. Come, Jeff. And he hears his name being called.
Oh, wow.
So Jeff knows from legend that if you hear something calling your name, you do not respond. So he just keeps on walking, and all of a sudden, he hears this louder and louder, his name being called. And then he starts hearing screaming coming from deep in the woods.
Oh, no.
And he hears laughter, and he hears what sounds like people just talking all around him. So he starts walking faster and faster, and he knows the way he came in, but for some reason it feels like the trees are almost moving, and he is going in the wrong direction now. And finally, he comes out sort of to this open area, and he sees a man standing out in this field, but he's turned around, looking in the opposite direction. So Jeff goes up and approaches this guy and says, "Excuse me, sir, do you know the route back to the highway?" And when this man turns around, Jeff realizes that it's himself, and he's all bloody and bruised,
What?
just staring back at him. So Jeff runs as fast as he can for several miles, gets in his car, and drives back home. Later that night, he's awoken to hearing voices inside his room calling out to him, "Jeff, come back, come." And so Jeff never went back to the woods again, mushroom hunting.
Now, you talking about spooky. Did they kill Jeff? Like, what? He can't just leave off that story like that. Did he die? How you see yourself bloody and... How are you talking to yourself, actually? Like, you turn yourself around and see, and you ain't sleep. No, maybe he don't say the rest. Let me see.
And the second story I've heard is...
See, the second story.
There was a couple who decided they were going to live in the Appalachian Mountains for summer. They find this cabin for rent.
Why?
And they're surprised
Why?
how cheap the price is for 6 months. So they rent this cabin, and they go out there and they bring all their stuff to move in. And this guy in a truck, he meets them out there, and he's very nervous. And he tells them, "Hey, at night, you're going to want to lock your doors and close the blinds." And then he gets in his truck and he leaves as fast as he can. So this couple is just in awe of how nice this log cabin is and the fact that they got it from, this huge steal. So that night they go into their cabin, they make themselves comfortable. It gets dark, and all of a sudden they hear a thump, thump, thump up on the roof, and it sounds like something or someone is walking across the roof. And then they hear banging on the side of the house, and they hear these large booms and creaks and sounds coming all around them from outside. It sounds almost like their house is being invaded. Eventually, the sound dies down, and daylight comes. The next day, same thing happens, and for several weeks this goes on. So finally, the husband is fed up, and he says, "You know what, I'm done. We're taking our home back. We're tired of being harassed." So in the middle of the night, when this sounds start happening again, he goes to the window, he opens the curtains, and then he looks out the window, and standing out behind the window is a woman, and she has this pale, long face and white, gray hair going over her shoulders, and he notices she has solid white eyes, and she's just staring at him, and then she points directly at him, and that's when all hell breaks loose. He starts hearing banging on the roof, banging on the sides of the house almost like an earthquake is happening. And then he shuts the blinds, they run into the bathroom, and they hide for the rest of the night. Then the next day, they decide, we're through with this, and they leave, never to return again.
Dog. You talking about terrified, bro? Like, if you look out your window and some, because it's clearly a ghost. If it's, he ain't say what floor they was on. Like, what if they was on the second floor or third floor even? And it's just something outside, all white hair, all white eyes, and then pointing at you? And then the whole environment, This why I don't understand people that like to live in the woods and stuff like that. I don't get that. And then when people live in the woods, it's always pitch black back there. Like they'll never have no lights. It just be the woods. I can't do it, man. It's just too much. Cause let alone this type of stuff. What about the animals in the woods? You know what I'm saying? Like that's where you find all the animals you ain't know we had in the state. You know what I'm saying, or in the city. I'm cool, man. But like I said, man, it seemed like the spirits and all that stuff. It's always like the kids, or it's like real old houses. You know what I'm saying? Seems like that's where they always be at. But anyway, in the comments, hey, tell your ghost story real quick. You know what I'm saying? If you got a ghost story. So, um, yeah. Again, happy Halloween, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Trick or treat safely if you out trick or treating for the kids. You know what I'm saying? Check your kids' candy. You know all the regular stuff. Oh, I think I'm gonna leave some links too for the. Some people be asking me about the lights and stuff, and some of the gear I got. It's really not y'all for real. It's like people that I know, but y'all might be interested in it too. So I'll leave links down in the thing. I got a little affiliate thing, so you know what I'm saying. If you want to buy it, you get a little discount, and I get something for it. So, but yeah. In the meantime, I'll holler at y'all later, man. I'm gone.